Well, good evening, everybody. It is another Monday night, so that means it must be time for another crypto chat. My name is Red Baron. Thank you for joining the show. We're getting started a little bit right on time, actually, 7 o'clock Central Time. So thank you very much for joining us. We're going to go ahead and we're going to cover a few things early on, talk about what's going on in the market. More blood. Isn't it always fun? More blood. So you guys that got dry powder, hold tight because it's going to get fun here in the next 100 hours. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to cover a few charts, go over a few things, and then we're going to have our Monday morning or our Monday get together with Red Bear where he's going to talk tonight about staking and what you need to know to make some good old-fashioned passive money. That's what we're all looking for in life, just let our money make more money for us. So we're going to discuss that tonight on the Tech Chat. But before we do, without much ado, let's go ahead and cover a few bills and go over a few things. So if you guys are new to us, welcome. We're glad to have you part of what we do here. So I'm from FibbyCharts.com. My name is Red Baron, and what we do here is we predict the future using an electronic crystal ball called ISIS, which is an automated intelligence system that can predict movements up, down, sideways, not at all. And we have those built into our charts. That's a monthly subscription service that you can become a part of, and we do 3 times a week. We do live stream broadcasts where we show you this amazing system and show you how it works and kind of let you test drive, tire kick, and do what you need to do to kind of be a part of our group. And of course, obviously, if you guys want to be a part of our group, we'd love to have you a part of our free Discord, which is at the unfairadvantage.chat. You're all welcome to file on in there, see what we do, and kind of get a feel for the group and kind of get a feel for what it's like to be involved in someone who's really got something on the ball that can really show you how to invest in crypto without randomly throwing your money out there. So again, if you'd like to, join us at FibbyCharts.com for the subscription. Our chart site looks like this. If you'd like to subscribe, just simply go to the subscription box right here. If you'd like to, just immediately go here. If you'd like to know a little bit more, this will show you all the different subscription packages with the different levels of subscription and the different levels of coverage. A lot of the guys are starting to come in and they're starting to immediately sign on for Platinum. However, don't jump just yet. If you're a big-time trader above $10,000 a month, you might want to consider our new Platinum Pro, which we're going to be rolling out later in the show. I'm going to give you a little glimpse and show you what we got coming here. Hopefully by the end of the month. It's quite a platform. More charts, more information. We're just going to choke you with it. So no such thing as too much information when it comes to making an investment. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to turn this over to Red Bear here in just a second, but let's go ahead and take a look at the charts and see what's going on in the market. Because the last time I looked, it wasn't good. Whoop. Hang on just a second, Bear. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do this real quick.
All right, sure.
He's anxious to get talking, so hold on just a second. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at Bitcoin here right now, see what the market's doing in general. So as we talked about on last live stream the other night, I predicted using ISIS. We made a couple of different predictions. We hit those things beautifully. I told you guys the dump is coming. The dump is coming. And sure enough, here we are. We're just about ready to go into the first level of this. Now, we are going to drop another level like this. We're going to be down here into this red line, possibly even by the end of this broadcast. So y'all that are looking with bullish sentiment, you might want to have a sit down because you're not going to like what's coming in the next 100 hours. This is going to get damn ugly. So hang with us through the show, and we'll go ahead and we'll cover a few things. Let's take a look at the top 3 coins right now. And we will revisit this in intermediate breaks throughout the show here because I know you guys like to look at the markets and see what's going on. So we will go ahead and take our first round look at this. And about 15 minutes into the show, 15, 20 minutes into the show, we'll revisit and kind of see what's going on because it's timely information is so terribly important to crypto. So let's go ahead and take a look at the XRP chart and see what's going on. Now, this is a beautiful call. I mean, just straight out of the gate, absolutely crystal clear, perfect call. I told you guys on live stream, well, let's just go ahead and read the note. I told you we were coming out of a triangle. I said, this is absolutely a move that should happen. And I grayed this out and I said, theoretically, if we're using standard technical analysis, which we abbreviate as TA, it should go up to this line. I had no feeling that it was going to happen like that. And I told you guys, what's more than likely to happen is what we call a J-hook. This is something in pattern recognition that I've told you guys. You can look for it when we come out of a triangle like this, especially in these markets that we're suffering through right now. They get you just kind of front run a little bit, and then they whoop a curveball on you, and they rip the rug out from underneath you. And I told you the rug. I told you it was coming. I told you they had a grip on the rug, and sure enough, not only this was just a little sketch telling you about where it should go. Not only did it do that, it fell exactly to the mark, and then it continued to pummel from there. So, and I gave you another mark, and we hit that mark. Now I'm giving you a third. So by the end of the broadcast, we're likely going to end up right down here in this range. Now, don't jump yet because...
Hey, Baron.
Yes, sir.
Baron,
Yes, sir.
put the screen up on the screen.
Beg pardon?
The chart up on the screen.
Beg pardon. I'm rolling here. Hang on. Let me. There we go. Pardon me, guys. I get to roll in here. Get in the zone. There we go. So here's where we're at with XRP. Too many screens, too much information. So anyway, XRP basically fell down to the 0 and then dropped down further. So what we're looking for is we're going to be going through the J hook, which I predicted, and then we're going to go down further. So we're looking for probably here by the end of the broadcast, and let me go back and hit Bitcoin again. So I'm sorry, apologize. I've got 5 screens here. I'm getting used to a new 5-screen system. It's quite the thing. It's like landing space shuttles here. So, you may not want to take a flight with me at the helm right now because I'm just learning to use the equipment. But anyway, where we're at here is I had predicted this on live stream, and I told you guys we're going to be going down. Sure enough, we have achieved that, and we are going lower. We're going to be going down into this band right here, probably by the end of the broadcast, and we'll be checking in on that as we go through the broadcast here tonight. So we're going to probably be running for about an hour to possibly an hour and a half, depending upon the level of information that Bear will be giving us here concerning staking is what we're going to be talking about tonight. So anyway, let me go ahead and let's take a look at Ethereum and get on with the show here. So Ethereum is actually looking about the same as expected, and I immediately see what I define. For you guys that are our live stream fans and understand our methodology, something called an opening and a closing move. We have a very, very strong opening move we have to close, which is going to put us right there on that predicted move. So you can expect Ethereum, before she's all said and done, to be hitting 2450. And then we'll check in and see if there's more blood to follow. But 2450 right now is your target on Ethereum. So prices keep getting better and better. This is still a target that I'm still holding on for. And the deeper and dirtier we get, the closer we get to target acquired. So, this is the magic of this system. I mean, when the magic chicken bones speak, it's only a matter of time for the prophecy to come true, as the old joke goes. All right, so let's go ahead and let's join Red Bear here. So how you doing, Red Bear?
I'm doing great.
So guys, let's do a level check here, make sure we can pick him up. So we're still kind of fighting with our audio right now. We're doing this as a kind of going old school. We're using just a phone hookup because we got some new equipment here and we're just trying to make this work. So it's not the quality of the content, it's the content quality. So let's go ahead and do some mic check here real quick, make sure everybody can hear you fine. Go ahead and get us a level check here, Bear.
All right, check 1, check 2.
All right, you look good.
All right there?
You look good on my side, so everybody looking good? Can you hear him all right? Yeah, I've got him moved close to the mic here, so I'm just going to keep the mic close to where he's at, and he should be able to pick up just fine.
A little quiet there. Am I good? How's the chat?
We got to wait for a little delay. All right. Yep. All right. All right, go ahead and pick on up. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to talk about tonight's topic is on staking crypto for profit, correct?
Yep, that's what we're going to do. We're going to be covering Theta to be specific.
Okay. Oh, we're gonna do Theta. Okay. So you're gonna give us Theta specifically. Can you give us an overview of the market, just generally? What staking is, and what it's good for, what its level of danger is, compared to that thing we discussed last time, pooling. That's pretty hairy, scary. I mean, that's a license to lose money if you're not careful and you're not smart. How does staking stack up against that?
Well, that's a good question, actually. Staking is actually one of the better ways to make money in the long term. It's actually the most stable way of getting a passive income without having a lot of risk, because how staking usually works is that there's actually in the smart contract it's written to have a only return to the initial wallet that you staked it from. So even if it leaves your wallet, it can only come back to your wallet. It actually makes it very safe and easy to use. I've used Theta for staking for most of my crypto career because that was one of the initial cryptos that actually had a good run-up for me. So for Theta and T-Fuel, I'll be covering both actually. T-Fuel has a new crypto staking thing that's part of the main net that's becoming online here soon. And it's actually going to be enabling T-Fuel to be a useful part of the Theta ecosystem, the T-Fuel The T-fuel will actually be inflationary in terms of it's not going to have a limit, but it's going to be restrained through some other practices. I don't want to get too far off because I want to stay on the staking, but it's just to say that Theta and T-fuel are going to be good staking returns in the long run, because even though they don't have ZIL 15%, they only have 4% respectively, they're going to still be good just because the general token price is going to be going up so much.
Mm-hmm.
So you're going to get lots of return on your initial investment, because the 4% is actually going to turn out to be a lot more.
Okay.
So let's show some images here of how you actually stake. And we're going to go through the theory first, and then we're going to show the actual.
Okay. Got you live here. So are you showing a Theta wallet, just so I'm sure I'm looking at the right thing?
Yep.
Okay.
So we're going to go to the Theta wallet, but first we're actually going to show you the drawing that I'm going to make here. So this is what you got.
Are you an art grad?
You got your wall.
Are you an art graduate? I'm just kind of
hobbyist. I'm not to Pablo level. But here we go. The wallet that I've so crudely drawn is where you're going to be storing your Theta, right? This is your classic Theta wallet. So when you stake, all you're doing is sending it to a validator. In this case, actually, it's a Guardian node, because I don't think very many people have enough to have a full-blown validator node. I think you need like 1 million or something tokens. It's a lot. But most people are going to be running a Guardian node, which basically validates the validator.
Okay.
So it just keeps it honest. So that the people who are running validator nodes who actually mint the blocks, which the transactions are managed on, they will make it so that you can actually keep it clear, so you don't have any fraud happening. So anyway, back to the wallet. So your wallet here is where you keep your tokens. When you stake, all you're doing is sending it to this Guardian node. Well, the Guardian node is like running a consistent algorithm that's validating the block as it goes along. The only way for this Guardian node to remove the tokens is if you do it. And it only goes right back to your wallet. There's no impermanent loss or anything like that. It just makes it very clear and easy to use.
Okay.
So when it comes to delegating, which is where you send it to someone else's Guardian node, because a lot of people don't have the initial investment capacity to actually have one of their own Guardian nodes, because the minimum amount to run a Guardian node on the Theta network is 1,000 tokens. And they get around this now by actually having delegating pools. It's the same system that the fund in X fund system uses, where you can actually send your tokens to a third party who doesn't actually have access to your coins. They just basically accumulate these coins inside their own node and then run it as a group, kind of like a business. Sometimes they take a cut, but not significant. And from there, they can actually use your Theta if you don't have 1,000.
Explain that a little bit more to the guys that are not understanding. So what are you using it for? What, and you may have answered a little bit of this already, but people are coming at this from a banking standpoint. We understand that, if I've got $100 and I give it to Mr. Banker holds on to it, he lends it out. In other words, he is lending my thing to somebody else, a third party. He's drawing the interest off that, and then he gives me a little shave of that, and he keeps the rest of it. So this is not a direct comparison to that procedure.
No, it's actually better, way better, because the bank has risk.
Correct.
It's leveraged. It has third-party risk. They have the ability to bail themselves in if they need. Where the Guardian node has no ability to do anything, but the worst that could happen is the node shuts down, but it still exists in the blockchain, so you can reclaim your tokens. So there's not really any third-party risk. The biggest risk is that the node shuts down and you don't get your interest for that time being.
How often would you say that happens?
Almost never, because people are running it like a business. They don't have any incentive to shut down.
Right.
So for the Guardian node feature, it's pretty good. The delegation is just an enhancement on the existing process.
Okay.
So let's go into how you actually stake. I'm going to change windows here real quick.
I got your stream paused, so before you... Okay, looks like you're still going. All right, good.
All right. So this is what you pull up when you actually go to the Theta wallet page. I can post the link in the details if you guys are interested. But it's not really anything more that you haven't seen on the other website.
Yeah, Theta wallet is rather, for what Theta does, this is probably one of the most uninspiring wallets you'll ever see. Or one, it really, you just don't understand the power behind this very simple interface. But
yep.
yeah, it's. Are there any, on a side note, are there any other wallets that you're aware of to hold Theta if people are not comfortable with the, this is the, for lack of a better description, this is the factory wallet, or this is the company endorsed wallet, but are there other wallets currently holding Theta now? I know the answer to that. I just want to hear your take on it.
I don't believe so. But here's what I'm doing.
Uphold, I guess you could say.
Uphold? Okay. Uphold's kind of a wallet. It's kind of an exchange wallet.
Yeah, if you can call it that. I don't call it much of anything, but it's functional, kind of like the a one-legged race, and it's not perfect.
See, I really like this wallet specifically because of one thing, and that's because you can put it on a Trezor or a Ledger.
Correct.
Yep. And then it's in your possession, and it's in the most secure kind of storage you can have.
So in that respect, basically, it just becomes another level of security. It becomes more of a security key than a per se holder of anything.
Yep. But you can stake it from your Trezor or Ledger wallet.
Okay.
Which is really nice. So when you go to the page, you're going to come here and you're going to have 4 options. You have key store, mnemonic, private key, or hardware. Those are all different ways of creating a wallet. So if you're trying to create a wallet and you don't have a Trezor or Ledger, then you're going to be going through the create a wallet link that you can see right here. But if you have a Trezor or Ledger, which I highly recommend, then you can go and create a wallet through your Trezor and Ledger, which is pretty simple. I have a Trezor, so that's how I set this up. Ledgers are pretty good too.
Mm-hmm.
So here we go. Next slide. You gotta switch it here. So after you click on your initial, there we go. Your initial Trezor wallet, then this pops up screens. And you get a export multiple Ethereum addresses. This is basically just telling your Trezor or Ledger that it's okay to communicate with your computer. And then it'll export some private keys to the Theta wallet system. And that way it's all handled through your wallet. You don't actually have to remember anything besides your wallet's private keys. And it just handles it all on the back end, so you don't have to have any passwords or anything. It's pretty nice.
Nice.
Yep. So from there, you can go to selecting your address, which there's actually a bunch of options that you can run off of a single wallet. So your wallet here is really a lot of options, a lot easy to set up. The top one is mine. I blocked it out. But we're going to go off the second one here. It's pretty simple. You just kind of run it straightforward. Let's see here. Next screen. There we go. Okay. So this is what it looks like when you're actually in the wallet. not very flashy. It just kind of shows you your wallet, send, receive, stakes.
And it just basically gives you, for you guys that are on phone, basically what this is showing is showing right here. It's showing how much Theta you have and how much T fuel you have. I mean, it doesn't get any more basic than that.
Yep.
But crude but effective. Simple. Crude but effective. Yeah.
Yep. So you click on the staking button. As you can see, it's pretty clear. Everything's pretty straightforward with this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then you go to staking, and you just click deposit stake. And then you go to your actual pop-up screen. Got a lot of windows open here.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, here we go. So now this is here has its three options. You got the validator node, the guardian node, and the delegated guardian node. To use the validator node, you're going to have to have 1 million plus, I believe. The guardian node is 1,000, and delegated lets you stake any amount. Once you get there, you're going to have a drop-down menu, and you can select from the drop-down menu the different options. I'll give you an example here. Yep, here we go. So you got Gpool. This is the original delegated node. They actually had this node delegated before they even released it live. They were pretty cutting edge. But now there's a bunch of options. As you can see, there's Gpool, Theta Communications, Winder, Mir, GN, Genion. There's even Theta Bros and stuff like that. People are just running these like businesses.
Mm-hmm.
So it's actually a good way to make money. If you can find a token that you like, you can actually start a Gpool or something like that.
So this is something and of course, obviously, the bigger the crowd, the more profit or more growth that you get, obviously.
Exactly. But, it's the entrepreneurial space, so a lot of people are creating a lot of new opportunities.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So from here, it's pretty much done.
Okay. What kind of percentages is a person looking at? So we have to filter this through the lens of old school money, so people understand the implications of this. Because when you're talking crypto, I mean, it's very easy to kind of lose track of exactly the power of what kind of money we're talking, or what kind of growth or percentages we're talking about, because we're not talking dollars, we're talking something entirely different. So you have to kind of compare apples and oranges and make it seem more like an apple. So in terms of percentage, which is something we can always discuss, what kind of percentages of growth over what period of time is typical, is extraordinary, is bad for something like this?
So when it comes to staking layer ones, there's a lot of fluctuability between different tokens. You're going to get some are 4%, like VeChain. Some are 2%. Some are 15%, like ZIL.
Correct.
So you're going to have a lot of options.
Correct.
It really, what you're looking at when you're staking is just a way to accumulate a little bit more while you're hodling.
Right. So it's just letting passive money grow itself. It's not for the longer way, and we've talked about this many times on live stream. I've said, when we get past the promised land of everybody's sitting on $1 million, this becomes more of a way to maintain your wealth and live off. Theoretically, if you got enough crypto to live off of the residuals, this would be the equivalent of what they used to say: if you put $1 million in the bank account, then you can live off the interest type thing. Would it not kind of qualify for that type of arrangement if you had enough of it?
Yep, definitely. I mean, a lot of these coins, but Theta specifically is going to be a great one.
Oh, absolutely.
Because the point that we're looking at is like what you got $1,000 per Theta token. I mean, even if you have 1% APR, that's huge.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So,
and 1,000 by no means is the end game for it. That's probably 1/3 of where it's headed, if not more.
Yep, exactly. So when it comes to, let's go over T-Fuel and elite staking. So there's this new feature here. I'm not sure if everybody knows about it yet.
Your stream is paused right now.
Okay. I'll bring it up in here 1 second. Up the edge node. So Theta actually has, as a part of their streaming, this thing called the Theta edge node. And the Theta edge node, here, let me pull it up here.
Your stream is still paused, so there we go. Okay.
There we go.
You're good.
Okay.
I got a question here real quick that I'm watching the chats.
Sure.
One of our viewers says, is there any risk of slashing? Could you answer that and explain to everybody what that means?
Slashing. Is that a personal term? I've never heard of slashing.
I'm in the dark here. So he said, is there any risk of slashing? Sharding, perhaps? Is that what he means?
Well, sharding is like a layer 1 scalability protocol asset.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Continue. Pardon my ignorance there. That was just a question. I'm just reading what I'm seeing here. So.
Yeah, that's no worries. I'll just keep going. If you want to, Sam, if you want to clarify, just let me know.
Okay.
So Theta Edge basically works like you're running a distributed computer. They can actually do calculations that they farm out to people who are running this. It's actually a good side job if you think T-Fuel is going to go someplace, because you make money based on doing these folding jobs, which basically amounts to doing calculations or doing coding on videos for the Theta net.
Mm-hmm.
It works also to help you broadcast and restream, because you can restream other people's casts as well. But the big thing here is that they're actually introduced here, and mainnet 3.0 is going to go live. This is kind of the test right here. You get the pre-elite edge node, but it's called the elite edge node, and it works off of T-Fuel. What you're doing is you're actually staking your T-Fuel, and you're making it make money for you. Now the interest rate is fluctuative based on how Theta Labs thinks they need to affect the price of T-Fuel, because it is the gas. They don't want it to go too high comparative to
they don't want an ETH
Theta.
situation, right?
Exactly. So they're going to control the output rate that you're going to get. So I think the fluctuation is between 1% and 4%. That's what you're going to get. But the great thing about this is that you get it for staking T-Fuel, but you also get it for running this folding program. And you also get it for broadcasting. And you also get it for staking Theta.
Okay.
So the amount of avenues you can get T-Fuel from is actually going to be quite significant. It depends on how much involved you are in the Theta ecosystem, basically.
Okay. You got a lot of flashing on your screen. Is that you moving across your thing and you're getting a highlight flash? Because it's going to give me epilepsy here in about 5 seconds. if you get a whole, is that going on your side? I'm dealing with my.
No, it's not on my side.
I've got a screen. I don't know if anybody else is seeing screen flash. I'm trying to. It's flashing every once in a while. I don't know if that's stream delay or whatever. If you guys are seeing this, I'm trying to hold that down. I wanted to see if that was on Bear's side or not. I think it has something to do with you moving across your screen or something like that, because it goes kind of milky white and then it goes dark after that. But so that's not you doing that?
No,
okay,
not me.
All right.
It might have something to do with Discord.
Well, there's a shocker, right? Okay. Well, just one of those things we'll have to kind of muddle through. So apologies to you guys that are looking at the flashing and stuff like that. I'm aware of it. We're doing what we can to kind of hold that down. So wear sunglasses. You'll be fine. So go ahead.
All right. Well, that's pretty much it for staking. All you have to do is go to update, and you edit T-Fuel stake, and then you just click maximum, and you just click stake. It actually stakes from your wallet that you just set up with the validator nodes and stuff like that. So it's all in one, kind of. You connect it all together, and then you just have access to move your key fuel around and your Theta around. Now, the one thing you should remember about key fuel and Theta is that key fuel has a limit on how quickly you can withdraw when it's staked. That's the way they control the price, because
they don't want to run on the banks, so to speak.
Exactly.
What is the delay typically? How long?
I believe it's only like 4 hours.
Well,
it's not significant.
In crypto time, that can be rather catastrophic if a market's moving really fast.
Sure.
A lot can happen in
For
4
Theta,
hours.
It's 48 hours actually.
Oh, 48 hours. Okay.
Yep, but for T-Fuel, it's only 4 hours.
Okay.
Yep. So with ZIL, it's like 2 weeks.
Oof. I had heard that. I thought, man, I don't see that's the one thing most people don't want to do. It's like, oh, I don't want my stuff tied up for that long. I mean, some of these, you really got to be very sure you want to commit to this, because it's almost in a way kind of like buying a bond at the bank. I mean, you're in, man. You can't that at that point in time, it's not really necessarily a liquid asset. It's squishy at best. It's not a real liquid asset. If you can't get in and out of it at will on time in a reasonable amount of time, so you got to realize that when you get into these projects like this, if the whole market just explodes or does what it's doing tonight, you're locked and loaded, man. You might be riding to the bottom for 2 weeks. Correct?
Yep, that's when the weekend vacation comes online. Yeah, you gotta sometimes just walk away from the computer when you're doing these stakes, because there's nothing you can really do about it.
Well, yeah, it kind of gets to my point that I've made over and over again on live streams, is like, when you buy these things, you really got to be comfortable with your position, broadly speaking, on every single thing. I mean, if you buy, for example, let's talk XRP, because we were paying quite a bit of attention to that. So if you buy, like right now, price is 85 cents. If you buy 85 cents and you decide, I'm just speaking broadly, if this were something you could stake and do something with, and you decide to stake it, and all of a sudden you come back this afternoon come back this evening, and the value is now half. Sorry, you're screwed. You're locked in. So you have to be damn sure that you're buying these things at an attractive price, and not being the type of person that changes their mind every time they see the market burp or hiccup or do whatever it does. Correct?
Yep, that's exactly right. But with something like ZIL, the 2-week staking actually provides a pretty good floor, because there's a lot of people who are not going to even bother unstaking to have to restake to sell it. It's just, you have a pretty good floor in ZIL. So they're not going to go like 90% token. Like, you're not going to lose that kind of value.
Okay.
Because it takes too long for people to unload.
Yeah, a lot more people are kind of forced to ride out the storm, so to speak.
Yep, that's exactly right. So that's one of the benefits of long staking windows.
Mm-hmm.
If you're going to hold, it's good to have a lot of people holding with you.
Yeah, well, that's true. That's true.
So, actually, do you want to cover over XLM and its hard fork?
Yeah, let's talk. Are you done on staking? Anything else you want to cover? I mean, let's cover a couple things here on that. So, what do you view? Give me your top 3. So that brings up the question of the week here, which we will pose here in just a second. So, what do you view to be probably the best staking tokens out there? What's your top 3 staking tokens right now? And give us a reason why.
My top 3 staking tokens are most likely ZIL, because ZIL gives you currently ZIL, which is about 14% annual yield.
That's pretty good.
And it also gives you GZIL, current, I think up till October. And GZIL is worth, you get 1 GZIL for every ZIL, every 1,000 ZIL. And the GZIL current price, I think, is like $120, but it's been all the way up to $1,000. So you can get significant returns staking ZIL and then accumulating GZIL. Plus, GZIL is the governance token for the ZIL chain.
Mm-hmm.
So, as you know, if anything about governance, it's always doing really well. Like Uniswap is a governance token. So when you think of governance tokens, think of value because it allows you to control the chain. So big investors are looking to accumulate those so they can have control over the chain. It's like buying a part of a company.
Okay.
You can kind of control the shape.
So that's
my one.
I key in on that when you say it's kind of like buying a bit of the company. Do you think that this might morph into what I would loosely define as kind of the evolution of the stock market, perhaps? Something like this might be rolled into the new 2.0 version of the stock market? Because I've had a number of discussions with high-level bankers that have indicated that that basically that's exactly the stock market as we know it. Let's be honest, is not going to exist here very, very shortly. I don't know whether it's going to be this year, but certainly soon. But the ownership or percentage of ownership on companies is very much going to be tokenized, and it's going to be blockchain. So you view this as being part and parcel of that new 2.0 operation?
100%. I mean, it makes it way easier to vote, to get actual community sentiment.
Well, yeah, you don't have to have those corporate meetings. You don't all have to pile in your car. So if you're a little guy, I don't know if any of you guys are stock investors, but let me tell you, I used to be a big-time stock investor. And, sometimes it's fun because you can kind of call them a business expense, quote unquote. You can run out of town and go hang with the big boys and whatever. But if you're a little guy, let's say, for example, and let's say you buy a stock, you buy one share of Coca-Cola. You're not going to pile in your car and go halfway to the corporate meeting so you can hear the guy who runs Coca-Cola tell you what the plans are for the year. Now, this changes the game dramatically for that because everybody is on a level playing field. You all get the message, you all read the websites, and you can just right there from your desk or from your chair or from your tablet or even laying in bed have your say part and parcel of that, correct?
Yep. I mean, when it comes to governance and stocks, it's almost like already set up one-to-one.
Correct.
All of the same rules apply. If anything, it's just better because it allows you to play dividends in a really easy format without needing a third party that you have to pay as well.
Okay.
So it's across the board just better.
Okay. Well, so you got ZIL. What else did you have on your list?
I would say Theta. Theta is not the best in terms of staking rewards, but the token upside is going to make it so much better.
Right.
So you're going to get T-Fuel, and maybe you'll get like 60 per month if you have like 10,000 or something like that, which is kind of a lot.
Right.
But the point is that each of those 60, because you're accumulating T-Fuel at a lower price, it's going to go up to like $1, $2, $3, $4. So that 60 is going to turn into something big. Mm-hmm. Plus, you can compound it, and then you can also sell that initial Theta if you ever wanted to do that too, at a much higher gain. So when you're thinking about staking coins, you have to think about the underlying coin as well. You can't just think about what are the rewards, because you could get a 40%, staking coin that goes into the dirt, and then who cares? You're not making any money anyway.
Right. Well, I mean, all this is just icing on the cake because you were going to own the damn thing anyway. You were going to buy, if you had any sense at all, you would have been in Theta, and that just makes it all the better. Because if nothing else, the way that I look at it, I was kind of cut to the quick of the conversation. If nothing else, it's helping you fight inflation a little bit because as the dollar loses value, you're basically kind of getting a little payback on the deflation of the dollar while you're owning Theta at the same time. So you're kind of getting a 2-for-1 out of your ownership of Theta or any of these other coins that you're staking on.
Yep. Plus it allows you to have access to the rest of the Theta sphere.
Correct.
And you get the T-Fuel and all the rest of it.
Okay. What do you got in slot number 3?
For slot number 3, I would have to say personally X Fund and Fund because it's the same kind of idea as Theta. With Theta, you get, the validator nodes, and you get the returns on that. Now, the reason why I put it number 3rd is because Theta is a lot more of a sure bet than Fund and X Fund. I personally think it's going to go really well, but it's still low in the market cap, so it has a lot of room to make up and a lot to prove itself.
Right.
But as a result, it has a lot of opportunity to grow too. And the current rewards for staking fund and X fund is pretty significant. It's not percentage based like with Theta and Zilliqa and stuff like that. It's actually based on a lottery, but you actually get double rewards just like you do with Zill. So you get fund rewards for staking your fund. I think it's like 10%. I can post more later to clarify on that one. But with X fund, it's currently mapped out to be about one X fund per 100,000 fund you get. And I think fund is currently like $1,000. So like with a 15% or $15,000 initial investment, you get about $1,000 per month, which is pretty good, especially if there's a lot of upside. So that's my third, and I put that in the third place because the rewards are good, but it's still a speculative investment, so you should take that as account.
Okay. All right. Well, you got a title card for us. You gotta pose the question of the week. So we had.
Yes, that's right.
Hang on just a second here. We want you guys to be a part of the chat. So you guys that are on live stream delay, that have missed the chat, that are watching us on rebroadcast, definitely want your participation. We'd love to see what you have to say. What are the 3 favorite coins that you are staking? So we'd love to hear what you're saying, because this is a consensus-based website. This is a consensus-based live stream. We love to know. We love everybody to participate. So if you guys got some favorites, definitely let us know what they are. Share them with the group. You might have a hidden gem in the middle of there that no one's really talking about. It's better to put it out there. We're not looking for you to shill your crap. But if you've got something that's really honestly in the here and the now, doing something for you, then share it with the world, because it'll just make the pie even better and the pie even bigger for the rest of the group.
Yep, it's going to be a good one.
Yeah.
I'm looking to see what people put down there, because there always might be some new gems to pick up.
We're always looking, aren't we? Always looking.
Yep.
We're always adding new stuff. So you guys, real quick, just take a couple minutes. If you guys like to join us here on our actual website, please join us at fibbycharts.com. And of course, we'd love to have you. If you want to continue this discussion with Red Bear, with myself, with the rest of our moderators, and indeed the group, you can join us at the unfairadvantage.chat. That's the unfairadvantage.chat. That's a free Discord. You can just join us. Now, if you do subscribe, we do have higher levels where we do price calls. We share our predictions using the ISIS-based system, which is our automated intelligence predictive charting, which is just going gangbusters right now. So we're going to talk about XLM's new hard fork. Well, let's take a look. So ISIS predicted for us, they did double confirmation right here when this thing was moving up. We were saying, no, and here we are. 3.5, almost 4 days later, hitting the mark exactly and continuing on down. So this is the way you're able to kind of, like we say, it's like having a digital crystal ball, isn't it, Bear?
That's right.
Yeah.
This thing is incredible.
Yeah, it's you guys that are new to the live stream, you've never seen anything quite like this. These lines that go side to side are not Fibonacci lines. They're a little bit of a Fibonacci element to them. But what these are is statistical analysis of the entire market. What the probabilities are for this thing to go up and down and up and down. These lines that go top to bottom are time markers. We call them pulse markers. So not only do we know when this thing is going to dive, but we know how far, or we know how far and we know when. So let me give you an example. As we crossed this line, we started to pick up a little bit. We hit this and then we just dove. And we see this an awful lot. Every time we hit a line like this pulse marker, down she goes. We hit this, we went sideways, we went back up. From here, we went sideways, and then we went back up. This thing is incredible for being able to predict the next move, but to be able to do it literally what we call to the pixel. I mean, to come down and to hit that line perfectly, reverse, go up, hit the next one, come down, hit that one, go up, hit that one. And to be able to do this over and over and over again, this forms the basis of what we call the unfair advantage. And that's what our system is basically kind of nicknamed. We also call it the magic chicken bones. So if you guys ever hear us reference the magic chicken bones, that's kind of a old school Core 40 group member thing that we just started calling it the magic chicken bones. And it's kind of a name that stuck with us. It's kind of our fun little way to reference this system. But it is absolutely very high tech, and it absolutely is cutting edge. So if you guys are looking for a way to kind of get out there and beat the market, and I do truly mean mean beat the market? It's time to stop guessing. It's time to stop taking poke shots at this thing, listening to every joker on YouTube and going, well, everybody says it's going up, so I'm going to buy it, and then watching your money leave you. You need a system. You need something that is provable, something that you can see, something you can believe in, something you can use as a tool. What we do is we provide tools. We interpret the reading of those tools. I'm not a part of that. However, what I do is I do these live streams to kind of help you guys interpret what the tools that you're subscribed to. So I have fun with you guys. I love to see you guys make tons of money and stuff like that. And our group is just growing by leaps and bounds. So let's take a look real quick here while I'm kind of on this. Let's take a look at where we're at with Bitcoin, with XLM, with XRP, and then we'll get back to more chat with Bear here. So hang on just a second. Let's get back up here to Bitcoin. And we'll do one final check at the end of the broadcast, but we are tracking right along here. We're setting up for our next move. So I referenced here when at the top of the show that we're looking for another drop. And sure enough, she's going to happen, guys. She's going to happen. So let me go ahead and pull this from this actual Fibonacci line, which is a green line. Our AI lines are bronze. Actual Fibonacci lines are gold or green. So from this line right here to here, we're looking probably a drop right there. Going to drop us right on that double line. That is not only an AI line, but also a Fibonacci line. So you can take that to the bank. There's a magnet there. We're going to get sucked down to that. Bet on it. So you guys that are looking at Bitcoin and you're going, well, we're going to go up. I got bad news for you. The blood has not begun to stop letting out yet. We're looking at probably, let's go ahead and put a target market on there for you. So 31.5 to probably, let's just go ahead and just call that an even 31.5. That's our next target marker down. So all you basically got to do and wait. And I would imagine probably within the next 24 to 48 hours would be about when we're looking at that. Now that is not a gray call. That is definitely a red call. So we have a color code system that we use. Red is absolute. Yellow is pretty good statistical odds of about 60%. But when you see a red in the downward, you can pretty much bank on it because it's more or less going to happen. It's just a matter of time waiting it out. So where Bitcoin goes, the rest of the market's going. I mean, no big thing. That's pretty much no surprise there. The rest of the market's going to be doing the same thing. Let's go ahead and take a real quick look at Ethereum. I had already referenced that once. So Ethereum, the ultimate target is down here at the 21-25 range, but we're waiting for this next call to come in, and we're headed right there. It's only a matter of time. Basically, we're looking at that range right there, probably by at least the next 24 hours. I would venture to say maybe if we get another hard drop, probably even by the time we're done live streaming here. So we got about another 30 minutes or so left in the live stream. It could happen. However, I can pretty much tell you I feel very confident in the next 24 to 48 hours that we'll be easily here and well on our way to the next target marker down. So lastly, let's go ahead and take a look at, I had already kind of shown Theta, and the whole entire market's doing this. So, I mean, I show you one chart, I'm showing them all. So I do want to reference this because I talked about this on live stream the other night. And to no surprise, this played out exactly like I said. I said we are looking very upwardly trending, even though the rest of the market was turning down. I said, if we break out of this channel, which we did, we kind of jumped out, but we jumped back in. I said we could possibly go to here, but I'm not really feeling it. It seemed kind of funny that we were not just completely tracking with the market. There was just a little bit of a delay in this. So here we are now. We went, and this is what the market does. Let me zoom in on this real quick. So they know, anybody who knows how to do TA, they don't need to have this grid system. Anybody who knows how to do TA will tell you that, this is probably about where we should go is right here. So what the markets always do, just to screw with you, is they get you to front run, they go about halfway, and then they turn it and go the other way. And they'll go the full distance the opposite direction. So now that this is nullified, as I suspected it would be, you can pretty much expect that the tip of this red arrow is about where we're heading. And that follows very, very well with standard classical TA. So if you're looking at that, I have to kind of stretch that a little bit. But if we go from right there to right there, drops you. So now you have what we call a double confirmation. So we already had the first confirmation of the first hypothetical, and now we're verifying it off of a later move. This is now what we refer to as a double confirmation. So this is basically doubling down on our call to say it's only a matter of time before we see Theta come down into the basically $7.50 range. Now from there, I do expect the rest of the market to come down even further. But where we're at right now is we're looking and anticipating a drop of about 13 to 14%. Well within the cards of an easy one-day move. All right, so let's go ahead and move to our last one here, and we'll get on XLM, and then we'll discuss XLM. So XLM is pretty much tracking point for point like XRP, and again, we're just going to use standard classical technical analysis. We're going to apply it to the grid, and that's going to drop us right on that AI line, which is at 318. Now, is that the end all be all? Absolutely not. We've already got targets that we predicted over 2 weeks ago using the ISIS system, and we said if you want to make a sure bet, I'm pretty much got all my eggs in the 19 and 16 cent basket. This one's kind of a bit of a wild card. I mean, anything that goes down hard goes down extra hard. So this is a maybe. Odds of this is probably, I'm going to say about 70 to 75%. Odds of this in a drop, probably 80% or better. So if we indeed are going to go full boat slam to the ground, 19 cents, 19 and a half cents is definitely what it's going to do. Now, we've been predicting 22 to 25 cents for XRP if we get into a real hellacious drop, and let's not kid ourselves. I think we can all pretty much agree by what we've observed in the last couple of weeks that, we keep hoping, this might be the turnaround, but it's not. And then it happens again, and it goes down lower. And why is that? Because we discussed on TechChat last time something called the Wyckoff event, which is a way of bringing false hope into the market, getting you to commit, and then taking your money, and getting you to commit and taking your money again and again and again. And effectively what they're doing is they'll build you up, then they'll take your money. And they'll build you up, then they'll take your money. And they just keep stepping you down. So all you got to do is scale back off of XRP and take a look at this. Is there any doubt that that's exactly what they're doing to XRP and indeed in the market as well? And so that being said, it's only a matter of time before we get down to the lowest possible support, which is indeed in the 22 to 25 cent range for XRP, because we spent an inordinate amount of time last year. We just couldn't get out of the gully. We were always constantly in the 22 to 25 cent range. So that, by just good classical theory, says that's the floor. That's where the support is. So when we hit the floor is from 25 cents to 22 cents. Now, we are looking at XLM as moving in a percentage, marked measured move percentage. So if you're at $1 with XRP, we're generally seeing 60 cents to 50 cents, sometimes as low as 40 cents to the dollar on XRP. So all we're simply doing is we're just playing the calculated odds. So ergo, if we go at 25 cents, we should see between 19, best case scenario, and optimum scenario, 16 cents by comparative move. So that's how we come across this. Plus we also use the grid itself. We use the predictive marks that are built into the ISIS system. And so I have all my eggs in the 16 cent basket. Now, don't do what I do, because we don't give financial advice on this channel. I want to repeat that. We do not give financial advice on this channel. We are just simply here for amusement and amazement and that sort of thing. And, this is simply a tool, just another way of looking at the market. You're a big boy and a big girl. You put on your own pants, you tie your own shoes, you make your own financial decisions. And that has always been the way that we operate our business, and we want to make sure that you understand that we're not here to give you financial advice, only to show you the path. It's yours to walk it alone. Correct, Bear?
That's correct. That's
okay.
What we're doing.
So without any ado, let's go ahead and get on to discussions of XLM and what staking with a hard fork is what we're going to be discussing. Is that correct?
Yep.
So that's a little bit of news that was just coming to me. I mean, I knew nothing about that. I mean, I spend my time with nose buried into the charts. I don't really read an awful lot of the news. I don't have time for the minutia. That's what Red Bear does. Is he's our fact warrior. He goes out there and he collects all the information and he presents it to our Discord and stuff like that. And what you choose to do with that information is yours and yours alone. However, we do want to present the most relevant, vetted information we possibly can to kind of make you guys investing life a heck of a lot better. So go ahead and tell us a little bit about what this is going on. This is all new news to me, so I'm learning right alongside of our listeners, because this is literally the first time I've had any at-length discussion about it.
All right. Well, this is actually the 17th hard fork that's happened on this chain. So there's actually been a number of updates that have been going on before then. So when people think of hard forks, they usually think of like BTC and Bitcoin Cash. Well, that's one option for a hard fork.
So what they're really thinking of is they're thinking, oh my God, they're going to fork this thing and leave it dead alongside the road, correct?
Yep, that's where the fear comes in. But in this case, this is actually extremely bullish news. So for Stellar, they had the 17th update. And on that 17th update, they introduced something called clawback. Now, most people hear clawback, and they said, that doesn't sound good. But in this case, it's actually really good. Because there's certain assets have clawback because of regulations, because of security concerns. These are big players.
Define what clawback is. I mean, as you guys could probably imagine, is that like no backsies, only on a professional level?
It's more like backsies, like not no backsies, but backsies. Give it to me back.
Okay.
That's what it's actually for. Now when I say this, you might immediately get concerned because you're saying, well, they can take my tokens. No, they can't. So this is actually part of a smart contract feature they're adding to the XLM protocol. What they're allowing people to do is to enable clawback on a transaction. So you and me are not going to be dealing with the clawback stuff. But the banks, JP Morgan, those kind of guys, need clawbacks. And they can't have their along for the ride in this case.
Hang on just a second. We just had an audio cut out here. Where did you guys lose us? I apologize, guys. I don't know what happened with the audio, but YouTube has just been giving us fits. You might want to back up to the. I don't know where we lost you here, so we might have to kind of back up a little bit. And where did we lose you guys at? I apologize. That's not professional at all.
Back now? Okay.
Hang on just a second. Let's see where did we lose you guys at? Okay. Yeah, pick up from definition of clawback. My apologies, guys. We're just fighting with the ISP and YouTube and stuff like that. I mean, that's just how it is. So, welcome to technology. But all right, go ahead and pick up again. Let's just reboot and redo again. So, clawback defined as what?
So, clawback is defined as the ability to actually reverse a transaction. So, you're not actually I shouldn't say reversing the transaction. You're taking the funds and moving them back into an old account. Now, that can be with like a mutual exchange or not. But the key here is that is actually turned on initially before the transaction is even signed. So, ideally, you would read this transaction and realize if it's a clawback transaction or a non-clawback transaction. And you're going to have access to the smart contract initially to be able to write this. And most people are not going to be dealing with this. But the banks, JP Morgan, Goldman Sachs, these kind of guys, they need this to feel comfortable in the space. And that's just the rules we play by to get access to their money dumped on the XLM chain. So it's very bullish in the future because you're seeing all of these machinations in the traditional market, the inefficiency of it, the illiquidity of it, all of these issues. So when they start to bring on, stocks, bonds, other assets to these exchanges, they're going to want to have the ability to claw back just in case they get scammed or whatever.
Correct. If they don't come up with this on their own, they'll be regulated into forcing to have to do this. I mean, that's just natural because through all this, not to sidetrack what you're saying, through all this, you can bet you that the regulators are going to want to feel like they're important. The government bureaucrats are going to want to feel like they're being involved and doing whatever. So if it's not automatically adapted, it will be forced upon them.
Yep, and there's nothing we need to worry about it. We don't have to do anything. This is actually all happening on the back end. So your XLM will be automatically obsonated to the new protocol, and it's all good. So it's very just one and done, and it's already done, actually. So you don't even need to worry about it.
Now, who would enforce the clawback? How would you, because I kind of go to the everyday investor type person. Like, for example, I was married to a woman that actually, don't kill me, people. I was married to a woman that was a regulator, and her job was basically overseeing compliance and stuff like that. And there were no shortage of people that were buying stock. I mean, that's the whole point of a qualified investor. But what do? They scream to the SEC, "Hey, I got screwed. I got screwed. This person." They went to a top 200 investment firm, and they bought something. They should have known what they were buying. I mean, they didn't want to own up to their position. So basically, what I'm saying is they went and they had effectively a legislated or an enforced by the government clawback where they got all their stuff back or most of it. So who holds the keys to the clawback function, and then how does it trigger? That's what interests me most about that whole entire scenario.
Well, it's customizable, so you can give it to a third party, you can give it to a regulating administration.
So there is administration possibility built within this. Some human element to this that decides to push the clawback or to activate the clawback function. There is still a human.
Yeah, you can have that. You can also have an oracle.
Okay.
So if there's like, for instance, if you have an insurance company and there's like some kind of dispute, and then there's a third-party oracle that actually would then trigger it if there's like a legal decision that could be put on the blockchain. Mm-hmm. That kind of stuff can happen. So you're talking about high-level stuff that's not blown out yet, but it will be.
Right.
And as we tokenize more and more things, it's going to be the legal system, it's going to be the finance system, you can have the medical system. Everything's going to be on the blockchain because it's more efficient to deal with data in a decentralized manner because you don't have to have trust. So there's no need to have to worry about fraud or anything.
Okay.
Yeah. So across the board, XLM is going to be doing really well, I think.
Okay. What else you got to talk about? What else is on your mind? What else do you want to discuss? So you guys got some questions. Go ahead and hit us with the questions. This is a time when we want to be able to make sure you guys are up to speed. If you want to know something, you got both of us at your disposal here. We'll go ahead and we'll cover a couple charts, and then after that we'll call our quits because this is just a quickie little show that we want to kind of pop in on Mondays. Our normal broadcast is normally on Wednesdays and about 3 times a week, Wednesdays, Fridays, and or Saturdays, possibly on Sundays. So if you guys want to join us at fibbycharts.com to go ahead and subscribe to our AI-powered charts, and we'd love to have you, of course, for free at our Discord, which is the unfairadvantage.chat, where you can kind of join the group and kind of get involved in some of the free calls that we do once in a while, so you guys don't have to necessarily spend any money to subscribe to the charts. Sometimes we throw a bone out there, just those guys that just want to see that this system really works, literally test drive, kick the tires, that sort of thing, and go, wow, this is really something. As all these guys do, they kind of come in at the cheap, and they step up rather rapidly. What I'm noticing a lot of people are doing now is they're coming in, they're subscribing at the low levels, and in a very quick period of time, they're stepping up gold and then gold into platinum because they got to have more and more and more, just because it's something that it becomes quite addicting. I've seen this. I almost predicted it anymore. Most of the people who usually start, if they have any appreciable amount of money to invest, they usually end up upgrading to the full boat generally within about 30 days. We've had a number of people that have started, and within like 10 days they've upgraded 3 times with their membership because they just want more and more and more. Now, that being said, we have a new trade platform here. Let me go ahead and give you a little peekaboo at what's going to be going on with that here. Hold on just a second. We're not ready to roll it out just quite yet, but I do want to show you the interface and show you what it looks like. So this is the platinum level that we're working with. And platinum level, basically, Bitcoin, we give you 6 hour, 1 hour, 5 hour, but these all work at the 15-minute, which is the most tradable time level that we operate on. You don't need any more information than this. However, if you're a big time investor, if you've got different strategies, if you're a member who really likes to manipulate his money and really just have more information than you could possibly conceivably use, we do have something now that we are rolling out called Platinum Pro, which is designed for you guys that are really the serious traders. Now, we are just now fleshing it out, but as you can see, same thing, one hell of a lot more information, 5 times the information. So what we're going to be having here is these are all going to be completely plugged in, all the icons. This is just the interface. We're just getting ready to get this thing live and running here hopefully this week. There's going to be a lot more coins on here. We're just mocking it up right now. But when you click on the coin, you'll be able to actually get the full breakdown. What this coin does, how it's trending, the 3-year, the 5-year, just the overall history. So at a glance, you'll be able to link straight to CoinGecko or whatever relevant information, and it'll give you exactly. If you don't even know what this thing called XRP is, you click on the XRP thing, it'll take you there and give you the full history of XRP and tell you, because there's a lot of these coins some people have never even heard of before. Let me go over here onto Platinum. And let me back you up here. Let me go back onto Platinum. Some of these coins that no one's ever even heard of before, such as, let me give you a good one here. What is Hive? I don't know what Hive is, or what is HDAC? You can click on the Platinum level, Platinum Pro level. You can click on it. It'll give you the history when it was rolled out, everything price history from top to bottom. And then when you got that under your belt and you kind of feel like maybe I might want to become a part of this, we're going to give you 5 different levels of charts: 15-minute, 1 hour, 6 hour, 1 day, and weekly. That's more information than any trader should humanly need to make a financial decision. So, and again, those are the decisions you make for yourself. We simply provide these tools, and obviously we give you the entertainment with the live stream, and you put all that together and see what you come up with. And a lot of these guys are doing very, very well with what the tools that we're making available now. So we're just leveling up our game quite a bit. So anyway, back to questions. If you guys have got anything here, if you guys want to ask some questions about a few things, we're going to go ahead and take a few questions, and then we're going to wrap up the show. Yeah, Peter's a classic example. Peter upgraded I think it was 3 times in 2 weeks or something like that. So we've got a little bit of a delay on the chat. So if you guys are want to get into questions, fire away here, because I don't want to have a bunch of dead airspace and stuff like that. But so we'll go ahead and we'll do a few charts here just to kind of kill a little bit of time, just to help you guys get some questions formed together. Because I know a lot of people are really apprehensive right now. I mean, this is not a good time to be jumping into the market right now, because it's still on its way down. I mean, you're going to see a little bit of hope, and then they're going to dash it and take it away. And a little bit of hope, and they're going to dash it and take it away. And I'll give you a good example right here. I'm looking at the XLM chart right now. People, oh, look, it's turning around. It's not turning around, folks. I'm telling you that much right now. This is basically still in a very, very orchestrated. This is all bots, by the way. Is there any doubt in your mind now that I've focused your eyeballs that we are continuing down? We are in this channel here, and I don't put any likelihood that we'll bust out of this channel. We'll continue to go down here until we pick up this signal right here, and then down she goes right onto this AI line. So this AI line is right here at 318. Now it's not the end of the drop, right? And that's just a mile marker along the way to the pit of hell. So it's just kind of gives you bias confirmation, if you want to call it that way. If you're looking at this and you think, well, I understand what this might do or whatever, because 99% of the YouTubers are saying this, or because I saw a YouTube video or whatever, that is the absolute wrong way to be investing. You need to have facts, you need to have tools, you need to have statistical probabilities, you need to understand the art of trading. And that's basically what we're here to do, is we're here to teach you the art of trading. If you guys are not a member of our live stream, love to have you be a part of that. Please like and subscribe and join us 3 times a week, sometimes 4 times a week. And I preach at you. I tell stories from my world travels and from my life. And I'm a rather interesting individual. You will never meet anybody quite like me. I've just about done it all, ate it all, and had it all twice. So, and I'm here to live to tell the story. And I love to spend time with you guys. I love to see each and every single one of you guys make life-changing money. That's what we're here to do. Is we're here to show you the path. It's yours to walk it alone. So again, if you guys have any questions, go ahead and drop them in here. You got anything else for us here, Bear?
Not much.
Okay. All right.
Cover if you're looking at it.
Okay. All right. Well, let's go ahead and do a couple charts here, and if I don't have anything come in on the thing, then we'll wrap up. It is 8:10 p.m. here, Central Chicago time, so hang tight here. Let's go ahead and pull up a few relevant charts and see what's doing. See if we can find something. So we can find a diamond amongst all the garbage here. Well, it definitely isn't going to be Digibyte. Digibyte, I don't know why I always gravitate to this, just because I just like to say I told you so. But yeah, it's headed there. We're going to be down here on then. This is actually a little bit lower. Digibyte is probably going to be one of the biggest beat downs. It's, when this thing really starts to build up ahead of steam, it's not going to be looking good. So let's go ahead and take a look at T-Field. T-Field, on last live stream now, here's a good example. See, we are in an upward thing now. T-Fuel is the one possible standout. Now, we just discussed T-Fuel tonight. There's a lot of good things that are about to happen. Mainnet 3.0 is rolling out. Now, I told you exactly why this is going up when everything else kind of isn't. And the logic is really, really easy to understand because T-Fuel is the gas that moves Theta. Now, everybody is prepping. A lot of people already have, but the expectation is there's going to be a run on Theta when mainnet comes out. So what's the first thing you do? You buy the gas, folks, and T-Fuel is the gas to Theta. So people are stocking up on the gas. So it's no surprise if you really understand how things are going. It's no surprise to see that T-Fuel is doing better than Theta is right now. And I do expect this thing to revisit the top of this channel. Currently, right now, we are at the half channel. Half channel, we break out past that, sure, we'll come up a little bit like that. Do I expect it to break out and break down? Here's what you need to know about this. So I see a couple things. We've got an opening move right here. So the question is, and I won't get into what that is. You guys will have to just watch old broadcasts if you don't understand what I'm talking about by opening move. Opening move on this that shows somewhere we need to close this move out. Now, we haven't had that anywhere. Now, you could argue maybe perhaps that's it. And I would spot you that as being a possibility. So let's keep the idea that that's an opening, that's a closing. We don't often see opening and closing moves go in that direction. Usually what we see is that. There's been a whole lot of that. But that being said, there's an opening and closing move. So we closed out that formation right there, and we're into an entirely other thing. Most people look at this would probably think that was a bull flag, and that's not a bull flag. What this is a downward channel that's popped up again. So you could possibly look at this and say, all right, well, here, let's go with the knowns. We are inside of a channel. We are on with the news that I just gave you. We are still in the game. The game being defined as inside of this channel. We just crossed the halfway point barely. So could we pick up a head of steam here and possibly go a little bit more? This is one of the very few coins I would tell you that are probably not going to go down. And that's not based on anything solid, just using some common sense. I mean, there's no reason this should go down when 3.0 is rolling out. And like I said, it's the matter of the gas, like I told you about. This thing is a necessary coin that right now is being hoarded by the people that are ready for the next move. So I look for probably break even, if not further growth from this thing. I don't want to go so far as to say the worst is over for this, but I think on the whole, if the market does take an absolute catastrophic drop, I couldn't really see this thing going lower than possibly support and resistance right here. We might take a little bit more of a dip and then go ahead and, in other words, dip out of this and then get right back in the game. So that's worst case scenario. This follows along with those things that I was telling you. If you're going to take a position, are you happy with this position? I preach at you guys over and over again about that. I would, 53 cents is not a fabulous price, given the fact that we see this going to $1. You get 100% return on your money. But if you're looking to just make a quick bang or a quick 20, 30% on this thing, this is a safe bet to do, because if it goes down, sooner or later, it's going to come back. This is probably one of the safest bets if you have a little wee dose of trade sickness and you got to do something to occupy your time. This is probably a safe one to get into. You really wouldn't have to sit on it for very long before it turn around and yielded you a nice 20, 30, 40%. So that's about the only one that would stick in front of you and even offers a possibility to pay attention to. Other things like VeChain, they're conforming to the narrative at hand, which is down, very much down. So we have the opening move here again, which is right here. It's actually there. So overall, it's really just that whole thing. So we've got to come down. We are going to come down right there when this is all said and done. So I've already given you targets on the last couple of live streams. So we're looking for a pretty hellacious, catastrophic drop across the market here. In 2 or 3 steps to the way down. But VeChain, I emphatically believe we will be seeing 7 cents. That's my personal belief. So. All right, questions. Whoop, hang on a second. I got your mic turned down here. Hang on just a second here. All right, so you got another. I see you got something up on screen here. Hang on just a second. I'll go ahead and wheel you back over here on screen. All right, go ahead.
All right, one more thing on T-Fuel, actually. So the reason why, besides everything you've just said, is because for mainnet 3.0 is actually going to be introducing T-Fuel staking.
Okay.
So before mainnet 3.0, you couldn't even stake T-Fuel. Now you can. So it's actually a good asset to hold just for passive returns.
So this is just a straight play, people trying to get in on early adoption.
Yep, that's exactly right.
Okay.
That's why I see it going up. It's got so much bullish interest right now.
Yeah.
I think they'll reverse back to Theta after mainnet 3 because then the Theta's the show again,
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't have unlimited cap. So it's also part of the governance token. There's going to be more built on Theta than T-Fuel. But overall, in the short term, T-Fuel, is probably going to be doing better.
Right. Well, we have long called for T-Fuel at $1, and I'm just being conservative. Is at the end of the party? Not even by a long shot. And I've said this not to divert the conversation too much, but I've said this for a long time. All these tokens are going to go considerably higher, but I'm not trying to fuel the YouTube space full of hopium and stuff and tell people, oh, it's going to go to $10. Eventually, it probably will. But do you want to live in a world where T-Fuel is $10? Because you have to understand a loaf of bread's not going to be going for what it's going for right now either. So you do have to keep that in mind, guys. You guys that hear the outrageous claims being made by some of these YouTubers of 1,000, 2,000, 5,000, you got to remember the cost of or what the dollar buys you at the same time is going to be less and less and less. So it's a mixed bag at best. So, if your T-Fuel goes up, 500%, you're really only getting 300% worth of buying power, maybe only half of what you think in buying power. That's the sad fact of the economy that we're living in 2021, folks. So, that being said, not to rain on your parade, that is the truth. I want you guys to come at your investments logically and understand what it is you really are getting for your time spent. And that's just the way it is. You have to understand the time value of money and the depreciation of the money that you're working with.
Yep. So last thing, for anyone having any fear, you have to realize, this picture on the screen right here, The Economist, we've already discussed this in previous streams.
Oh, yes.
is run by certain banking families. I don't want to get into triggering algorithms. Yeah, exactly.
Cough, cough.
Yep. But as you can see, they're saying very clearly what they're planning on doing.
Bitcoin makes the world go round. That's what you're looking at, folks. That's the symbolism that's saying Bitcoin is going to make the financial world go round. That's exactly the implication.
One last part. Notice the center of the spoke. Where is that located? Rome.
We talked about that on last live stream, did we not?
Rome.
Did we not?
Yep. So they're just showing it to you right here.
Yeah.
In
Just
fact,
spoiler
if you
alert
look
for you
closely-
guys, Africa is what, if you can't see, if you're on the phone, Africa. I did a nice little rant on last live stream about how Africa is massively ahead of us, and it's the truth.
And if you look really closely on the Bitcoin, you see the all-seeing eye right there.
Well. Thank you for creeping us all out. Sleep well, folks. That's it for tonight. But that's the truth. I mean, The Economist has long had a history of leaking this stuff out. Everybody's familiar with the Phoenix that was how many years ago? 15 years ago? I've lost track. I mean, that famous cover that showed the Phoenix. And of course, you guys that are somewhat fairly new to cryptocurrency, XRP is referred to as the Phoenix. It's supposed to rise from the financial assets. Around the neck of the Phoenix is a circle with a bar slash through it, which just so happens to be very similar to that. And so what they're basically trying to tell us is trying to tell us in not so many words or no words at all, XRP and XLM are going to rise out of the ashes. And that's what you're going to get. That's our new eventual, and that's going to be basically the gold and silver of the crypto economy.
Yep, and that's why they're building out this framework right now on XLM to handle the banks.
Correct.
You're just seeing it in real time.
Correct. All right, guys. Well, don't see any new questions. I appreciate you guys stopping in with us here. So my name is Red Baron for Red Bear and all the folks at FibbyCharts.com. And, of course, our Discord, one more time. If you guys are not a member of our Discord, we'd love to have you. Just join us at the unfairadvantage.chat. And if you'd like to subscribe to our AI-powered charts and kind of get in on all the digital crystal ball goodness that is the ISIS system, feel free to join us and of course, obviously jump in on that. And until then, tomorrow we're going to be doing probably another live cast because we're going to kind of keep it going and kind of keep keep feeding the YouTube algorithms because we're having very good results. They're starting now to share us with the world. I mean, it's been an uphill slog to say the least to be able to get the word out. But all of a sudden, YouTube loves us. They really, really love us. So now they're starting to send us out to the world, and we're glad that we have new people joining us all the time, new subscribers, new members, that sort of thing. And we're glad to have you guys with us. So we certainly have your best interests at heart. We want to see everybody do well. No crypto investor left behind, as we say. So until tomorrow, my name is Red Baron. Stay good. Peace and hair grease, baby. Talk to you later.